Welcome back to According to Tom. I am not Tom, but I'm here with Tom. Today, we're going to be discussing The Last of Us. Come join us. Changing up a little bit. Tom let me do the intro. That was a little weird for me. I got to be honest.
Hey, you do it on the other channel with
That's
we
true. I
we need to
do.
do our Simple
We
Man Gospel.
we need to do that. Let's do that next Sunday.
Yeah, let's do it because we got nothing
Okay.
going on, and I have a lot of saying about these ex-Mormon. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's do
Anyway,
it. Okay. Um all right. We're going to talk about The Last of Us on this one.
season
Uh,
finale, right?
is this a season finale?
Not season. Season. Yeah, season. It was season finale.
Oh, there's only 7 episodes.
Yeah, for season two.
Okay,
Now we have
okay.
to wait 2 more years.
Oh, they're not going to make us wait 2 years, are
I
they?
hope not, but we'll never know, man.
God, the actress that plays Ellie is going to be stupid old.
I know. Well,
But
they
she
were
doesn't look like she ages anyway.
they were talking about recasting.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know, but
Is
I don't
there
know.
like
There's no point.
political reasons
I
around
don't.
that, or
Not
like,
everybody likes her for some reason. Everybody's having a hard time
oh my
getting on board.
gosh,
She's a great
I think
actress,
she's
man.
done great.
I know.
I think
This
she's done awesome.
this season has been the opposite of what the critics loves it, but the audience does not like it at all, man. Like they
Yeah,
hate.
I find that super. Like, I don't understand.
Well, remember when I posed that question? Will this suffer because they killed off Pedro
Pedro
Pascal,
Pascal. Yeah,
the character? And I think it has. I think it's really
I heard
been,
people didn't like the second game because they killed off Joel so early.
yeah,
Is that the same case, huh?
yeah.
They didn't
Because
learn from the game, then, huh?
no, they didn't.
Learn from the mistakes of the past.
They just yeah, they don't know why. So, what's your thoughts? What do you think?
Oh, see, episode 7, right?
7. Yep.
What's the title of this one? I forget.
I don't know either, but I'll look it up. Keep you go.
But it kind of we get Ellie back at the theater with Jesse and
Mm-hmm.
Dina.
Dina.
Anyway, Dina. And Ellie tells Dina pretty well in summary everything that's gone on, like why Joel did what he did, who
Yeah.
he did it to, why Abby was there, and Dina gives her the cold shoulder.
I wonder
And
why. Now in the game they don't. We'll talk about that
okay,
later.
okay.
We'll talk about that later.
So she gives her the cold shoulder, and Jesse, with powers of deduction, determines that Dina is pregnant with his child, and that gives him a different motivation. And then at the end, we see this is really like skipping all really forward. At the end, we see Abby, and man, Jesse dies. He's done.
Well, you skip ahead a little bit. Yeah. So
I skipped all the way to the end.
yeah. So you get the sense of Jesse was actually tricking Bella to see if he was right. His thinking, because they took the arrow out and she wouldn't drink, and we know
Oh
Edina,
yeah.
she would never turn down a drink, and we see that in the first episode.
Yep.
And so he's kind of got an idea, and he kind of tricked Bella,
Oh yeah. He
or
tricked
not Bella,
Ellie.
Ellie into telling him the best
That's
she is
right. He did
pregnant.
trigger.
So
Yep.
and so that storyline with them having a baby is weird for me. Like they made her
Yeah.
say that one episode says, I'm a dad. Like, no, you're
Oh yeah. That was
not.
weird. Yeah.
You're not
That's
the
not what a dad
dad.
is. Sorry.
You're not the dad. And anybody, I don't get political, but there's only two gender, folks. You either have a vagina or a penis. That's all you got. There's no other gender. There's no multiple genders. There's just two, and she cannot be the dad. So
There you have it, folks.
let's get that out of the way. So Jesse is the dad, and they found out, and so they go looking for Tommy,
Oh
and
yeah.
we get
Yeah.
this scene where I thought it was pretty interesting. It's not in the
You're talking
game.
about the one between Ellie and Jesse.
Well, they were watching the people, the wolf interrogating the
with
young
the scar, the
guards
kid.
and basically going to torture him
Yeah.
and kill him. And you
I
get
thought
the
I really liked that.
but you get the two cents of how they think.
Yeah.
Jesse just wants to get home safely with his kid. That's the
Yep.
key word, folks. His kid.
Yep.
And she just wants to help, what's it called?
The kid,
The kid,
the
because it's just a
scar.
kid, the scar.
Yeah.
And then so she gets and then they throw in the dilemma the point where like, well, she wants to be helpful to everybody, but she's not realizing even at this point. This is where I think that the show kind of dips for me. Is
Okay.
where hasn't she learned from the experience that she's gone through that not everybody is the same as your group or your community. Everybody's
Sure.
different. Like everybody's gonna
I
be
yeah.
ruthless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I appreciated that conversation to kind of highlight the differences between the
I do
two
too. I do too.
thinking. Um, yeah, are you saying the character Ellie dipped a little bit for you? You
I
kind of
don't.
disappointed in her?
It's just that she hasn't learned. It's like she doesn't learn. Like
Yeah.
go through the first season, they were both were kidnapped. They almost got gunned down by another group of people. Like you gotta understand. Like there's a certain point where you're like, and then she sees what the scars did, as well as the wolf, and she still wants to help him.
Was
And
this
then
before? This was after like they tried to string her up, wasn't it?
no, no, this is before.
This is before they tried to string her up.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't, and even that scene, why? Why? What's the point of having that scene? She should already know how bad
I mean,
these
she's
people
seen
are.
it. She's
Yeah.
seen it. But I think for that character, it seems like she's more thinking they're just out to get the wolves. And if she's not one of the wolves, then they'll leave her alone,
Then
which isn't the case.
then it's not
And
very.
she has to find that out firsthand.
Then she's naive. So she's either smart, dumb, or naive, or you know.
She's naive. She's 19.
Here's my other. She's I think my other issue is with her character, and this has nothing to do with this episode. Wouldn't you like as a guy? Okay, wouldn't when Dina finds out that she's not she can't be
She's
harmed,
immune.
she's
Yeah.
immune. Wouldn't there be more questions? Like,
Sure.
could I
Yeah.
could I get we kiss, we make love.
Oh,
Could
well, sure. They exchange
could
some kind of
yeah?
yeah.
Wouldn't you ask these questions? Like you
Can I
just
be immune now? Like, how
yes.
do I get this immunity?
Or do
Is
I get infected if I touch it or like
oh yeah, yeah. It is yeah.
is this like contagious? Like you don't ask any of the questions. Some of the decision making of the character in this season, I'll have to admit, I love this season, but not as much as the first. But there are common sense. I think to me now, people tells me, "Well, you're not in the moment, Tom. You have hindsight 2020." Like, no, but I'm not. But I was in the middle of
I
corona.
mean,
I was in the middle of
infectious
coronavirus.
disease is an infectious disease, right? That
Yeah,
doesn't change, right? Take strep for example, right?
yeah, or
If
like,
you have your tonsils removed, you're less likely to get strep, but it doesn't mean that you're not carrying the
yeah.
bacteria.
Or
So,
when during the pandemic, everyone was
oh
like,
yeah,
"Oh, can we breathe on each other?" Like, these are questions that I think should have the conversation. But when straight goes, "Oh, I'm gonna be a dad," and like what? Like, anyways, so you get that scene, and then they find out there's a sniper. They said that's Tommy, and then she sees the wheel and the whales. Now she knows where
oh yeah,
Abby is, or at least she thinks that's where
because that's
Abby
what
is.
Nora. Those were the two words she got out of Nora.
By the way, she didn't kill Nora. That's pretty cruel, dude. Making her
She just
suffer.
left her and in
Uh,
there. Yeah,
that is cruel. And so they have an exchange. Tommy, Jesse goes. They argue about community. These are my community. Well, so this is my like f your community. Well,
yeah,
it's not that simple, Ellie. And this is where the part where I'm like, those are the community that saved your life and brought you in, and you're gonna say that to them, like.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways, uh, Jesse goes, I hope you stay alive when after Tommy comes back. She goes to the, and then you have the sequence of her being stupid again. She goes and sneaks into the harbor, and then she sees two wolves, and she's gonna shoot them. You're gonna take them out from where you like. These are like things that bothers me. Like there's no common sense in what she's doing.
Okay. Okay. So your criticism is that they wrote this character to not think with common sense
In my
in this
opinion,
world, or
not in
okay,
any world, even in our world. I mean, come on. Like
sure.
what makes you think that she can take out two guys that far away with what is probably a 9 or a 45?
Was it the revolver that she was using,
I think so.
or is it a semi-auto?
I don't know what it was. But I mean, you got to be a pretty good shooter to take those out.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking from experience, right?
Yeah.
An 8 yard shot can be pretty tough if you don't take time.
A 2 foot shot from the basket is the hardest shot than a 30-foot shot because because you have to be precise and you have and at the same it's the same thing with shooting. Like you have to make sure you aim it right and there's all these
Yeah,
things that goes through your
and
head.
handguns are quite finicky too. So anything longer than like 10 yards, if you're not taking your time, it's or if you're not an experienced shooter, I
No.
don't know. Maybe she is. She's 19.
I don't know, man. But they did set up that she can shoot far because she sniped with Tommy in the
Sure,
first episode. She's good at that, but I don't know. Some of the decisions,
that's
yeah.
different.
Anyway,
So I guess I would ask, is that not? It's not what you expected from this character to go in guns blazing without thinking.
no, because
It's
in the game, I feel like she's more
strategic.
yeah, like more understanding of what the situation is and learn from the past and mistake. Like I feel like they don't. There's none of that in this character
She's
this season.
very emotionally driven.
Which I understand. Like she's out for revenge, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like yeah, be smart, you know. So, anyways, so
Hmm.
she sees two guys, and all of a sudden she sees a group of wolves coming on the boat. So this is when they're gonna invade the Scar territory, and they're going all out. In fact, you had that conversation, Isaac, in the beginning of the show, saying this might be my last night. We don't know. So, we'll see what happens. They go and they destroy. So she grabs the boat. Pretty
Yeah.
brave, pretty
Yeah.
brave girl to go through that freaking
The storm.
the storm, and then she gets flipped over, and she lands on what's it called? So I thought it was interesting that she pretty much got lucky, and in the beginning of the show, Dina gave her that little bracelet for luck,
Oh yeah.
and it
Yeah.
kind of plays into it. She goes, got to the shore, and then got tracked by one of the group of scars and hung her up, and these are the people she wanted to save. I get why they put her in that situation because they're like, okay, we got to make her see that these people aren't,
Understand they don't care who
they
you
don't care who
are
you are. But
if
then
you're not one of them.
you already do that. I
But did
mean,
they?
she saw him gutted a person. I don't think these people care who you are. And here's the thing: how would they? Why would they believe if she's not a wolf? What makes them to think that
Right. Yeah,
you're gonna?
there's no reason for them to believe she's not.
She looks like a wolf.
Yeah.
A group, folk, not like a literal wolf, but the group. So why would they think that if she I'm not with the wolf, why would they believe it? Because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure everybody gets captured by Scar, they all gonna say I'm not with the
Yeah.
wolf.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you are,
Even
you
if you
would.
are, it's like these are common sense things that you should know, at least by my opinion. And so
Okay. I can see that criticism. I guess I didn't look at it that way.
okay,
I was
how
just
did
like,
you look at it?
I looked at her. She's 19. She's trying to survive. Like she's gonna do whatever she thinks she can do to try to survive, and she's desperate and she's just driven emotionally. Again, I didn't play the game. I don't know what the character in the game was like.
Uh,
I just
but
saw this character.
but Dave, I mean, come on, man. You were 19 once.
Yeah, I
You
was dumb.
No, you weren't. You were on a mission.
No, 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 no. I didn't go
Oh,
until I was
well,
20.
20.
I was a dumb 19-year-old.
2019. Come on, dude. 1 year difference.
Huge difference. Huge difference.
But you were, we were on a mission. Now, for those of you who now my audience don't know, we are member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints.
Yes.
We both serve on the same mission. That's how Dave and I know each other and uh, form a very brotherhood bonds since then. And so, but when I was 19, yeah, we might do stupid things. But common sense always stays with me because maybe because my mom and my dad always drilled me. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just that always tells me, you can be the smartest person in the world, but sometimes those smartest people don't know what common sense is.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, and I guess with her being quote unquote raised by Joel, you would expect a little bit more from her
and it's
without like jumping straight into a situation without thinking.
and it's not even and she's seen and she's experienced these type of situation with with other people before. So
Yeah.
why would she trust these? I don't know. Maybe that's just my way of like, if I learn from a mistake, I would never go back and do it again.
One would hope, right? If you touch a
We'll
hot
hope.
pan, that should
Yeah.
be one time should be enough to not touch that again.
Yeah. So I don't know. So she gets captured and then she gets hung. And then all of a sudden there's the big horn and they say the village. This is when Isaac and excuse me,
That's
the
when they're
wolf
attacking.
attack. And you will see this in season 3 in the perspective of Abby.
And I hope that we get a little bit more about why Isaac puts so much stock in Abby.
Oh yeah, you'll find out.
Okay.
She's that good of a leader. She's really good.
Okay.
She's psychotic, but really good. But anyways, so then she gets lucky and she gets back on the boat and goes straight to the well. This scene, it hurts my heart, man. Hurts my heart. She goes, she walks around like a creeper.
Yep.
She
Yep.
comes upon a conversation that we will now. I will give you a Easter egg. She sees all this stuff. She sees a bunch medical supplies and blood and gauze all over the place, and she goes, "All those will come into play. Those are very important Easter eggs that will show up in the
In
next
season three.
season. You will see
Okay.
why they have all that there. Why Owen and what's the girl's name? Oh crap! What's
Which
the one
which
that
one?
got the one that was pregnant?
Dina?
No, not Dina. The other
No.
girl. The other girl that
The
got
other
killed.
girl.
That got killed by Ellie by the gunshot.
Nora? Oh, by the
No.
gunshot. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's
Um.
right. Because she shot him and she
Her
got grazed in
Grace.
the neck. That's right. Okay, I forgot about that.
Artery. How can you forget to
Yeah.
that? This scene is
Yeah, I
dude
don't know why I
heavy.
forgot about that. That was intense.
So they had a conversation. She pulls up on him, and Owen recognized her right away.
Yeah.
And they said, "Hey, where's Abby?" And Ellie does this thing where you show me where he is, and then you're gonna show me every match, and you both will live. That she learns that from Joel. And
Yeah.
instead of doing that, Owen went and grabs the gun,
Like
which
an idiot. You're being held at gunpoint. Stupid.
I don't know why he did that, but um, Ellie
Ellie
shot him.
shoots.
He steps in front of what is the girl's name?
I know who you're talking about now, but
Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
and steps in front of her because they're a couple. Well, to a certain extent, I don't know if they're a couple, but
Oh, I thought he was with Abby for some reason.
no,
No?
no, that's his baby. That's his
Okay.
baby.
Okay.
So you
My
get this,
mistake.
then you get this, but Owen wants to be with Abby. Does that make
Oh,
sense? Yeah, so
yeah.
a
Okay.
little love triangle, but then the bullet hits Owen right in the neck, goes straight through and hit a girl right in the neck,
Right in the
right in
grazed
the grace
her
of the neck, an
carotid.
artery. Yeah, and I'm like, oh wow, what are they? Are they gonna like change this? Nope.
So she bled out.
She bled out, and then she goes, "Take the baby out," and I was like,
Yeah.
no. And I don't know, all these idiots that says Billy Rams can't act. She can act, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That scene is so heartbroken, man. What did you think about that scene when you saw it?
I again like she she brings the performance. Like I don't understand. I'm with you. I don't understand why people say she can't act because she's done a great job this entire season.
And season one.
Oh yeah, and season one. Yeah. So yeah, heart wrenching scene. Like the
My
panic in the mom's voice
well,
and
was she panicked? I don't think she was panicky, dude. I think she was like, hurry.
she was urgent. She knew what needed to happen, and
Yeah, because
Ellie
she's
was
the doctor.
panicked.
She's like, you cut this, cut that. Goes right back to when Ellie was born, when her mom cut her umbilical cord and all that stuff and tie it up. She said, if you cut this, and as she's doing it, she's, oh man, my wife was crying. I had like somewhat an emotional because of the baby part. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
man, save the baby. Are they gonna save the baby? And you know what? I wish the baby was saved, but it was the right thing to do because now Ellie is just she let her guard down at this moment after that incident because she doesn't want to she doesn't care about Abby anymore. When they went
yeah,
back to the she said, let's just go home.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know, man. That scene was hard for me.
yeah. That was tough.
It was tough,
Good
man.
writing though, like
Yeah.
evokes the emotions that
Yes.
it intended to. So
And then Tommy and Jesse comes and get her. They went back to the theater, and this is where I saw. I told my wife, "We're not done yet. Get ready," because I knew what was going to happen. So it goes back.
remind me, was Abby there
Abby
or
was
was
not.
this?
Abby was not at the whale place or whatever the aquarium.
Yeah.
I'll tell
So
you what.
they're at the theater. They're
I'll
getting
tell you.
ready to go,
And then you
and
hear
then there
this.
was gunshots.
They heard some rumbling, and then they run out, and I'm like,
Jesse and Ellie run up because they were in like one part of the theater in the auditorium.
I if I could talk to the writers, Jesse, if you know his character, he is very calculated.
He wouldn't run
He
in like
wouldn't
he
run
did.
in straight like that. What is even in the game? I when it happened, I dropped my controller. Like, that's not Jesse. That's not who you set him up to be. At least in the show, for sure in the show, he is
Yeah.
calculated. He is safe. He doesn't do irrational things. Everything he does is with a purpose. And for them to tell, even again, to write him to run just full blast out there, wouldn't he? I'm so mad. I was so mad when I
Where's
played
Dina
the
at
game.
this point though?
Here's the question: Here's at this time in the game, Dina is somewhere in the theater. Um, I think in the game she was the one to save Ellie. Like the gunshot.
At the end of the at the end of
That's
the episode?
that's not Abby. Oh,
Okay.
hold on.
Um yeah, I kind of I don't know if I assumed, but I yeah, I didn't know what to expect at the end.
Yeah.
Like so yeah, Dina's somewhere. Dina saves her life.
Well, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but that's what happened in the game is a little different. But I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
In the difference. So
So Jesse
Jesse
runs
is
in,
shot right in the eye,
shot in the head,
dead.
done.
Abby comes up. I let you live. Tommy's like, don't listen to him. Then she gives up, and then you hear bang, and then it ends.
And then the last scene was Abby waking up.
Waking up in Seattle day one. So now we're gonna be in her perspective in season three, which is actually
Okay.
gonna be fun. I hope people aren't gonna like jump out of this show. I promise fun. So let's jump to the difference really quick.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Um, let me see. None of that Scar stuff happened. She just goes. In fact, her and Jesse didn't go off together. She snuck. She just went by herself. Went to the aquarium. She took the boat. Nothing in like she didn't. She get tumbled over, but she got on the boat and went straight to the aquarium. And they
So she didn't
show
get captured by the scars.
nothing.
That
None
didn't
of that
happen.
happened.
Huh.
She goes around everything in there until she comes to Owen. They didn't the way they died. It didn't happen in the game. The game is that the conversation was the same. Show me the map. her and Owen struggle. Owen tried to stab her with the knife or something, and then struggle, and she shots him in the stomach.
Okay.
And then the girl comes at her with the knife. That's it. Knife. She blocks it, kind of fuzzle, and then boom, shot her as well. And then
Oh, this
Owen,
is totally different
yeah,
then.
totally different. She goes to Owen, and Owen's like, right. That's when not Dina, Ellie goes back to her, opens her jacket, and realizes
She's
she's
pregnant.
pregnant.
Hmm.
But none of the like, oh, get the baby out. That one is brilliant. I think I'm glad that the show did that. But in the game, she just went and she like Ellie just blacked out, like because she was so traumatized and like all that stuff, and boom, Tommy Jesse comes, gets her. In the game, you don't hear Isaac's perspective there. You that conversation, where's Ellie? Oh no, where's Abby and
Where's
all that?
Abby?
That actually goes in later in the not later in the game, but it would should have been in season three because that conversation doesn't happen till later.
Yeah, I wonder
Um,
why they included that in this
or
season.
I think they're just gonna shorten it out in the sense of like that he already know where Abby is and at that moment as it's going on right now, there's Abby is doing some stuff that will later on comes together in the timeline where she's at the movie theater. That's when that and then the present will go forward after that, and
Okay.
so there's going to be a time because now it's day one. So the other thing that didn't happen is shoot. Oh, so in the theater, her and Jesse talks. They run out. Jesse still gets shot. The only Asian I root for in there, but um, gets shot. Abby comes out. The one thing that I was looking for, and this is will be a spoiler to the third season, but you should be okay. Abby wasn't alone. Abby had another person with her in the game.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna say who it is. How about I'll leave it like that? But there should have been another person there. When I was like I'm looking like where that was there. My wife said, "What are you talking about?" There's another person there with her that plays a really
Hmm.
important role in the third season. And so
In this scene?
in the scene, yeah, in the scene.
Huh.
So they didn't show her. So that happens, and then that's about it. The gunshot was more. I think it was Dina is in there. She's going to save her. I'm pretty sure that's how they
Okay.
ended that. So yeah.
Okay.
So the only difference is that you'll see, like, it mainly is more of the scar. That part was I don't know why they needed to put that in there. They already know how ruthless they are, but whatever. But yeah, that's the only difference in the game, man. The pregnancy with the king, yeah,
That
that's
conversation between Jesse and Ellie, did that happen in the game?
yes. I don't think it
Okay.
went the way it went though. I got to go back and check, but they did have a conversation about that.
Okay.
Tommy got captured by Abby. That happens. I mean, Abby in the game is really different than what it is here. I mean, she's like this Abby is a little bit more attractive than the Abby in the game,
Okay.
but I don't know. And she was way more buff, so this I don't know how it's gonna work, but it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I got 4 minutes.
Okay.
What's your thought as the season? What's your thoughts? What
As a season, I man, what episode was it? The flashback. That was the best one out
six,
of all of them. Yeah. Was that six?
5 or 6? It's one of those.
Yeah, that was the best one. Overall, I think the cast did a really good job. They brought really strong performances. The writing in general was good. I'd probably give the entire season probably an 8.5 out of 10.
I like that. I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you on that one. I think it was great. It was a good season. I still think first season's all by far. It just lacks a relationship between Joel and Ellie. I think that's the
Yeah, I
problem.
think that hurts
But
it.
but you have to move on from that perspective because we've already gone through it first season. So I mean, you got to go with something new. But just like the Star Wars fans, they can't change characters because forbid that we change how he really acts as then it's down the drain. Yeah, you know who you're talking about, the Last Jedi. Anyways, I think the season's great. I give it an 8 point. 8 out of 10.
Okay.
The 2 points for me was more just the choices
The,
they made
the
for
lack of
Ellie,
common
the
sense.
lack of common sense and the lack of experience from the past seems like she doesn't haven't learned, and it's like at a certain point that character has to grow out, and so I've heard rumors that they're going to replace Billy Ramsey, but I mean Ellie really isn't in that much in the second game, just only towards the
Oh,
end,
the okay.
so it's not much. But anyways, that's it.
So they recast the minor, basically a supporting role in the next season
But it's
if they
all
did.
about Abby, and
Okay.
you're gonna like her perspective. You're gonna.
Okay.
I hate people say, "Oh, I don't care about her. She killed Joel." I don't. You didn't make me care. Like you're gonna care where her perspective is because there's no hero in this story. Nobody
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
hero. No one's the good guy or the bad guy. Everybody's perspective is different from how you see it. And so,
Okay.
anyways, anything else?
No, no, I think that's it.
That's it for us too. Anyway, folks, thank you for going on a journey. The Last of Us. Next up is House of Dragon. Get on it, folks. House of Dragon needs to come back.
Wait,
I I have no
when
clue.
is you don't know? Okay.
I have
All
no
right.
clue. I have no Stranger Things coming back in freaking November. So
November.
yeah,
Man, that's a long
November.
ways away. Okay.
Always so. But anyways, we'll come back. I still have to review Lilo and Stitch. That will be coming. Did you see that?
I haven't seen that one or Mission Impossible yet.
Oh my gosh. Go see it.
Okay.
Mission is good. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we will be back. Until then, be kind.